fist in the air, tell me to sit down, I don't even care. The sun will rise again, so will I. A little more bruised, a little more high. They talk, I laugh, they act, I roll. Keep pushing my luck, I'm out of control. Raised up rough, so I've learned to show. Mess around with me, you'll fuck around and find out. I ain't chasing no dreams, just riding the wave. Ain't a thing I'm taking to the grave. If trouble's calling, I'm already gone. Live fast, burn bright till the break of dawn. They talk, I laugh, they act, I roll. Keep pushing my luck, I'm out of control. Raised up rough, so I've learned to show. Mess around with me, or fuck around and find out.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered. It's been a minute. Been what, going on 3 weeks? This would have been week 3.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I've had a rough week.
You've had a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah, things aren't really on full working out for me in the luck department.
2025 just hasn't been your friend.
It really hasn't. 6 months of hell.
So
You know they say things roll in threes, right? So this would be the third bad thing that happened to me. So it's got to be uphill from here.
I mean, you're not wrong. So we've already got people in the chat. What's going on, Blue Line Gaming? What's up, man? We got old Tater in the chat. What's up, Tater? Got old tall ass Leprechaun. What's up, Hunter? Got old Decoy NDA. What's up, all timers? So we're just gonna kind of wing it tonight. As y'all can tell by the title, we're Return of the Assholes. It's been a minute since we've done one of these. Squadcast is filled in. Thank you for all that have been a part of the Squadcast here recently. I guess you want to start with the update with Squad Productions.
Yeah, I feel like that'd probably be the way to go. So I mean, the basic update, for those that don't know, is not unfiltered Aftermath. One of the hosts of Aftermath, stepped aside. So right now that show is kind of there, but not there. It probably won't be live at least tentatively for a little bit until we can get a rotation going or get another host in there with Decoy.
Or maybe 2 new hosts.
Yeah, or maybe 2 new hosts, maybe a whole new show. Who knows? I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen really until, well, about a week beforehand we'll know.
So you'll have you'll get to see you guys will still see Timmy. Timmy will still be around, just not as often. It'll be more on his terms. Life just right now in his life, he doesn't have time to be dedicated to Squad Productions. With us trying to be on a schedule, which is fine. We understand life happens. We all live it. Oh, Hammy's been living it.
I'm about done with this shit. This life is, man. Look, my year started off, I thought, really good, right? Like, you know, what could get better than January 20th? Well, actually, let's just back that up. So January 19th was my nephew's birthday party. We had to drive 45 minutes away for it, and it just happened to be a day that we were supposed to get a really bad snowstorm. And I said to the wife, I'm like, hey, look, I want to keep an eye on this weather, and if the shit looks like it's coming in sooner than we expect, I want to get out of here. Well, this party was held at a bounce complex, like you know what they are, right? Like the trampoline deals. And there's a bowling alley in there and an arcade in there. So I ended up not looking at the weather at all. And I smoke, so you can't smoke inside. So I was like, all right, it's been about an hour and a half or so. We've been here, 2 hours, whatever. I'm going to go out for a cigarette. I walked out the door. There was like 5 inches of snow. I said, oh no, this is terrible, because I live in the country. Like I live in the sticks. They don't plow here. They plow when the snow's done. They don't care about keeping they figure if it starts snowing, you'll stay your ass home. Not if you're gone, you got to get your ass home. So okay, that was the first screwed up thing. That really wasn't that bad. But then you fast forward to the beginning of March, my dog that I had for 9 years started limping. And but if you knew the dog, like she was just a nut. She would get out in the yard, run around, tear shit up. Like she she acted like a puppy. So I just thought, all right, she fucking stepped on something or, just did something stupid. I checked her paw, didn't see no cuts. She didn't whine or yip or anything when I touched it. So I was like, cool, okay, whatever. And then over like that week, she started getting real bad where she would just lay here and she would get up to go outside and she would get up to get some food or whatever. A couple weeks later, I was having to make food for her, taking the dog food and wet food and all this shit, blending it up because she wouldn't eat solid food. And then Brandy comes home from work one day. It was a Saturday, and she said, "Hey, let's go to Walmart." I said, "Okay." So we went to Walmart, came home, and the dog was just howling like crazy. So I took her to the vet and found out she had bone cancer, and it was like really bad. So I had to make that decision there. And then fast forward to April 19th, my wife's dog, the Chihuahua, who was 11 years old, was just standing there all weird looking, just staring off into space. And she's like, "Was he doing this all day?" I said, "No, he was just fine like a half hour ago." Then he went into like 5 seizures. So we took him to the vet. Vet said, it could be like any number of things, but at his age, it's hard to tell. So she gave a seizure medicine, came home, and then he had like 4 or 5 more seizures. I said to Brandy, I was like, I want to put him in the cage with the blanket by himself. So one, he doesn't fall off the bed having a seizure or, get trampled by another dog. Woke up Easter Sunday. He was dead. And then last Thursday, I went to bed and I never turn off my computer because that's really hard on the equipment for it to power on, power off, power on, power off. So I'll just put mine to sleep. I went to bed, woke up, went to turn on my monitors, and there was no display. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. And then I tried everything. Like I unplugged shit. I turned the power off, turned it back on. Everything was running. The fans, the lights, everything was going good. My USB, the USB for my microphone, USB for my keyboard, and my mouse, nothing was working. My monitors weren't working. So I was able to say it wasn't a graphics card issue because the USB stuff wasn't working too. Plus the fans and everything for the graphics card were running. So I took it to the shop, and here we are now 1 week to the day later. I know nothing.
They know nothing.
They think it's, yeah. So I gave them hell on Tuesday, or Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. I forget which day it was. But I called. So when I took it in Friday, they said they would need it overnight at least to diagnose it, right? Like it's fucking some kind of serious thing. I called Saturday and he said, "No, I haven't had time to look at it. I'm the only one here." I said, "Okay." He goes, it'll probably have to stay over the weekend till at least Monday." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So Tuesday I called and I'm like, "Hey, I'm just checking on my computer." He's like, "Oh, I'm the only one here. Really haven't time to look at it. It's still doing the same thing you told me it was doing." I thought, no shit. Imagine that. It's doing what I said was wrong with it. That's why I brought it to you to fix it. He goes, "But I think it might be a power supply issue." And I go, "So what do we do there?" He goes, "Well, you have to pay us to be allowed to work on it. And then we have to order the part. You have to pay for the part and we'll put it on." And I said, "And if that don't fix it, well, then we refund you the part and we start over." Can you imagine going to a doctor? "Hey, doc, I got a headache." "Well, all right, well, let's first, we're not going to do no scans or blood work or nothing like that. Let's just, here, take these Tylenol and come back in a week. And if you still have a headache, we'll try something else." That's basically what I got. And now the funny part about this is the shop that we took it to is my brother-in-law's. This is confusing to say, but my brother-in-law's wife's ex-husband owns it, and their 2 kids, and they're out at Boy Scout camp, and this dude's been saying for a week that he's the only one there, which means this guy Dan just abandoned his shop to go to Boy Scout camp with the boys, and there's customers. Because the guy told me, he's like, "Hey, I got a whole bunch of shit here. You know, I'm trying to like do a little bit on this computer, a little bit on that computer, bounce around." I'm thinking, Jesus. You know, and it's not just one shop. He has like 4 shops or something of the same name scattered about the area. You would think somebody could come from one of them over to help this poor guy.
Yeah.
But so I've been on cell phone and a tablet for the past week. And like I was telling you earlier, I became pretty good at Clash of Clans. Got pretty good at that. And today, for some reason, my brain went, Brandy, you have a laptop. It's a piece of junk. It's not a gaming laptop by any means. And you're not using that. Give me it. So here I am now, finally. It feels weird to be using my microphone and my headphones and my keyboard. And it's only been a week, but it still seems like, man,
Decoy
technology
said, "Run,
has a
don't."
way.
Decoy said, "Run, don't walk. Get your PC back and take it somewhere else." And then tall ass leprechaun put a +1. You got the chat voting for you to go pick up your PC and take it somewhere else.
Well, the dude, you know, and this is where, you know, Hammy being an asshole came into play. Because I said to the guy on Tuesday when I called him, I said, you know, it's kind of funny that you keep telling me the same thing. I'm paying you to do a job. It's not like you're there as a convenience to me. I'm paying you to do this. You didn't call me and say, "Hey, I heard your computer's broke, bring it in." I brought it to you. So as a customer, you should be doing what you can to make my life easier. And he gave me, like, here's how I know I pissed him off, because he said these words to me. He's like, "Well, if it's taking too long, you could just come get it." And here's where my mouth got me in trouble again. I said, "And what do you want me to do? Come home and look at the fucking thing? Just sit it on the desk and stare at it?" I said, "You had it for this long, you might as well fix the goddamn thing now."
I mean, how
So,
busy?
yeah.
How busy could they be? I mean, you live in bumfuck Egypt.
Well, so where we took it was, you know, again, I feel like I say this a lot, 45 minutes away, because that's literally as far as it is in any direction to anywhere. And yeah, I had a laptop probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I kept getting a blue screen. And I took it there, and BB, when I tell you that in 2 days they had it figured out, part ordered, and fixed, and I was picking it up. Right? So I was happy with that. So why wouldn't I take
So
it back?
you're
I mean,
like,
why wouldn't I take something else back?
oh, you had a really good review the first time. I get it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
why wouldn't I
Man,
go back there?
and you would think it would be easier to work on your PC than it is a fucking laptop, because a laptop you've got to take the
Well,
keyboard out, all kinds of shit to get to all the components of a laptop.
yeah.
Your
Yep, and
PC
like,
is literally
so
just popping the cover off, and everything's right there.
well, and the thing that he said to me, he said, "Well, because we can't get it to show a display, we can't really figure out what it is unless we get in there and start unplugging stuff and plugging stuff in."
Well, that's what you
And
do.
then he said he thinks it's
That's called
yeah, exactly. He
that's
said,
called
"Oh,
diagnostic.
we think it's a power supply issue," he said. But he won't know until they order the part and put it in to find out. Now, where I could believe that is if I was 12 years old and stupid. Okay, a computer shop has stuff, like a car. Like, you go to a garage, they have stuff that they could plug in to use. You can't tell me that that computer shop doesn't have like a bunch of random power supplies sitting around to test stuff out. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make sense. Could you imagine going to a garage
Decoy
and
says
saying, "Hey, I have this problem"?
Decoy said it's not a power supply issue; it's a motherboard issue.
Well, everything worked. Like, so the USB plugs didn't work with my computer stuff, but I could plug a USB cord in there and charge my phone. So the USB port, everything works. The display ports won't put a display out, but the the graphics card's working. So like it blows me away. And if like so but and that's what like they had said that about being a motherboard, and he said he don't think it's a motherboard issue because everything's working. He thinks that what might have happened is at some point maybe I took the case off, and I said I think I took the case off maybe twice since I've had it. You know, or that a wire somehow got crimped inside of it. But
I mean,
so
I
have
have dogs. I pop the panel off mine all the time and blow air in it and run alcohol through it.
oh yeah, no, I have, so mine has two panels. It has a like the one side where like all the goodies are, and then there's another side. On the other side is a panel that just has like all the wires run to that side, right? Like that's where the wires are tucked in. And yeah, I take it off, and I'll get like the air duster, air can, or whatever the hell you call it, office duster, and I'll spray it in there. Uh, I've taken the fans out already and washed them down, like took them and not washed them down, but you know what I mean, wiped them down so that way any dust or anything that builds up on it. So it's just I'm just in this waiting game period right now with these assholes. I already know it's going to be about $125 on top of what I've already paid just for them to fix it, and hope that that's the problem that these tech experts um are like. And the place isn't run down. Like, it's not a little hole in the wall type deal. Like, their lobby, everything looks like, hey, they do really good business. And I know they do good business. They get a lot of business. Maybe that's why it's taken so long. Maybe other people's shit is worse off than mine, and they think that, hey, I could just be bored for a while.
Money talks, man. You didn't lay just a wad of cash down and say, "Hey, fix it."
Well, and the worst part is
And then
so I
slip
have
them a
three.
$100 bill tip. Here, you fix it quickly. Here's $100.
Normally when I record my videos, I'll upload them to my Google Drive, and then once I upload them to YouTube, then I delete them from the drive. This is the one time I didn't. And wouldn't you fucking know? Computer takes a shit. I can't get them videos uploaded. So anybody that's watched my channel know this whole week there was not a single video because I couldn't do it. And now, like, I could have accessed any of that information off my drive through my tablet, my phone. I could have had it all. Nothing would have been any issue would have been resolved. But nope. I could have had myself at least had another weeks of content up. But you don't plan on shit like that. I didn't foresee, and it made no weird noises. It never like nothing. Didn't indicate that something was going wrong. Like there wasn't that. This is happening deal. It just boop. But convenient while I was sleeping. You know, wake up in the morning, want something to do, drink my coffee and watch the news, and can't do that.
So there's a life update on Amy.
Yeah. Let's hope the next 6 months are better than the first 6 months.
So OCRP did something interesting.
Sure did.
They those of you that wanted inside of OCRP, they opened OCRP up for a refer your friend program. And literally the announcement was that there wasn't any stipulations a part of the announcement that said anything about if you applied and were denied that you couldn't join. Hammy Games put in an application like many of us did about 3 years ago. It's been about 3 years, right?
Yeah, right about, yeah.
It's roughly, it's some, I think it's like right at 3 years. Uh, put in applications, took forever to get through them. Hammy was denied. Decoy and DA was denied. I ended up getting accepted at some point. I've only been in OCRP maybe 3 times in the almost year that I've been there. Me and Decoy were working on building Freedom up at the time that I got accepted into OCRP, and I got into OCRP, and it was like, like it was mediocre. The server was, in my opinion. Just because like we were buying newly fresh scripts and such, and ours just to me looked better. It felt like we had more to offer, you know. But then, there's people that got into OCRP because of the Refer Your Friend program. One of those people being someone that we had a multi episodes covered about is over there at OCRP. But yet you got denied.
Yeah, that's. So here's the thing, right? And I'll lay the timeline out again, like, so that there's context to this. But Jeff don't like me, and I understand that, and that's fine. But so you said about the message. Here's the message that was put out. It was by Kimberly D. She's I guess an admin over there or something. But it says, we're starting up a friend referral program here in OCRP. If you've got some friends and you want to bring them into RP with, now's the time. Just open a ticket and let us know who they are, blah, blah, get a quick heads up type thing. Like, so nothing in this message says if they were denied in an application prior, they can't join. Right. So I was reached out to immediately when that was posted by a member of OCRP's like onboarding recruitment team who would know before anybody else if there was pre-stipulations. Okay, so when I got in there, it said, make sure that you're reading the civilian documents, get an understanding of like what they're expecting type deal. So on my other monitor, I had Discord, and on my main monitor, I had the documents, and I was reading over them and stuff. And then for some reason, I just happened to look over at my Discord and the OCRP, because I was on the OCRP Discord, and I was in the section where you
where the documents
write
are,
whatever it was they wanted to. No, the spot where you were supposed to put, like, I forget what the reply was, like yes or something like that, and then they were give you a unit number thing, right? So I was just sitting there waiting to see what would happen, and I looked over and I was looking at my message with me and Matt, and I'm like, now when the hell did I click off of that? And then I scrolled up and I seen that the OCRP Discord, which was at the very top of my Discords because it was the newest one I joined, was gone. So I messaged Matt and I said to him about, hey, what the hell's going on here? And of course, he makes a ticket and asks, and here's Jeff. Oh, Jeff, I'm just going to leave it at that. Favadoodoo said, hey, Matt, what did it say? Hey, Matt, your referral was recently denied in the onboarding process. They are not eligible to be an OCRB due to this reason. Now, when they say recently denied, I don't know that they're really looking at a calendar. Because recently, as in 2 years ago, if that's recent, then okay. But again, nowhere in the message did it say that if you were denied, you can't join. And I believe it was you made a post in the OCRP chats, and Jeff responded to you saying that if somebody was removed because they were denied, it's not a good look for you. I thought, damn. And then I thought, how many people got kicked out because they were denied on this referral program? Was it just me? Because Jeff can't stand me from DOJ days. And for good reason, because Jeff's a little ball baby child who threw a fit because he didn't get what he wanted in OCR or in DOJ and left and started his own community. That's just what happened, and he took Ryan and Rika with him, and then Bugs tried to play both sides of the field. But Jeff is Jeff's an asshole. He's an ignorant cunt, I guess is the best way to put it. So I hope that gets to him, because I probably wouldn't have lasted much long in OCRP anyhow, because I probably would have lit him up. There was 2 years ago, me and Matt were playing golf with friends, and Bugs just thought it was funny to constantly change the name of Matt's stream, because Bugs is like a super admin for Matt. And I kept saying, like, I never had a problem with Bugs. Me and Bugs got along. We never, like, sat and talked for very long. But back in the early days of DOJ, there wasn't thousands of people. And he started throwing a fit when he couldn't be involved with because Polecat decided that he wanted to make a dev team to just handle stuff. And Jeff wanted to be part of this dev team, and Polecat said, "No, let's just have you focus on creating the content for the community." And Jeff threw a fit. And I have nothing good to say about him. I don't wish nothing bad on him, except for someday karma will bite him in the ass. And I really hope it's on a live stream, so that way it can be clipped and recorded and spread, or whenever some weird thing that might have happened in DOJ makes its return to public life. It'll be nice.
So with that said, if any of you put in applications or whatever, so CRP, and or didn't put it, or yeah, put in applications, were referred to by a friend and then got denied still, let us know. Either in the chat or join the Discord, and you guys can pop in. I know Decoy, I think, had an opinion about this. So Decoy, if you have time and you want to join in the VC, come on in. Don't worry about joining the waiting room. Everyone else join the waiting room.
Yeah, and here's my thing. Here's my thing with it, though, right, BB, is that I wouldn't care, and I don't care. Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But it's the principle of it, right? Like, you let one of your admins, if you're going to come through and do all of this, let's let people in thing, you don't think that you guys would have had a meeting at some point to discuss what you can and cannot do in order to be here? They must not have had that discussion. She made this lengthy post that apparently nobody else proofread before she posted it. And then here comes the new people. And how many of them, like I said, how many of them got denied in the application process and got kicked out again? So it was like getting slapped in the face.
Well, so my thing is,
that's the disrespect part.
So like, let's say that you were denied. Like, let's just hypothetical that they legit went one by one through all of those applications, and let's say, and I'm thinking with like my SAFR hat on, when we used to go through applications and we would read over like their we would read over their application, and we would make a decision on if they were going to be accepted or denied. And a lot of it was based off of like your role play scenario, that question, create a scene. So let's say OCRP denied you because of your RP scenario, that it was shit. I can't remember if that was a question. I'm pretty sure it was. But like, let's say it's shit. That's been 3 years ago. Who's to say you haven't joined another 5M community, gained some reputation, and you're a different person than you were 3 years ago when you originally put in the application? What tells you that like you're not going to be a good fit for the community just because you were denied one time 3 years ago?
Well, and I don't buy into that that
It,
they went through and read those applications. I
well,
can tell you
that's why I
for a
said
fact
that's why I said hypothetically.
there was over 4,000 people that applied. Now, yeah, granted, it took them what 8 months, a year, something like that, to finally like do stuff. But still, there's no way they read through those, and I know they didn't because it wasn't broke down into batches, right? And the denial wasn't, you weren't given a reason for denial. It was just, and everybody that got denied got the same stock standard, reply. So if you did mess something up on your application, because once you hit submit, it's gone.
Yep.
You can't fix it, right? So if you screwed something up on an application like that, you would think that they would be obligated to say, you've been denied, here's why. Now, why I don't care is because their application cycle, and again, this is going to roll back into this have a friend join thing. Their application cycle is so random, right? Like it might be this year, it might be in 3 years they might do it. But why not run a recruitment cycle and allow the people that got denied the opportunity to reapply? Instead, you're going to bypass your own procedures that other people got denied for to allow people to join because they have friends there, just to tell them people you still can't be here because you got denied, even though we opened the door and let you in.
But think about what I said too. The person that we had a multi-episode podcast about because of a refer the friend program is over there. Like, as well as I do, he would not have made it well through an interview process.
Oh no, his application would have been dog shit crazy.
Yeah.
But because of that, and this is why I really want to know if anybody else that got denied got in on this refer a friend thing, or is it just Jeff knows who I am? Like, I've been Hammy Games forever. I didn't just wake up one day and say, here I go. Actually, weird that I got the name Hammy, and this is a true story, is, probably 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. I was working at a company where we would unload train cars, and I called my boss the night before, and I said, hey, am I going down to the freight station? I have ham sandwiches, and I would like to bring them to warm up. Because we didn't have a microwave in the break room at the main plant. That, like, we did, but they always broke. And I walked in that morning, and everybody was calling me Hammy. And I'm like, all right, then, fuck it. I'm not going to let you insult me. I'm going to run with it. So and then with my uniform on the tag where it's supposed to say your name, I had mine say Hammy. And then when I created, like, I made an email for, like, the, fuck are they called? The Play Store for downloading apps and shit. And I just named it Hammy Games because I was using it to download my games. It was so I knew that email was just for downloading games. And it just kind of morphed into here I go, Hammy Games. But I know that he knows who the hell I am.
So we
maybe
got,
he don't want me there because he knows I know who I am.
We got Tater in the comments. Never put in an app, never will, and could care less to join. The only reason people join that server, and the only reason it's so big, is because of all the people that watch just Jeff and Bugs. I mean, when you've got millions of subscribers between the two of you, yeah, I mean, the people have been watching these guys since DOJ.
Back in the scripted DOJ videos, and right now to the scripted OCRP videos. I heard they even have a server basically just for that. Just so they can get in and script their stuff and create entertainment. They're not actually role-playing, they're just creating entertainment.
Stop your yawning over there, Timmy.
Should call this shit Orange County Entertainment instead of Orange County Roleplay.
What you got going on, Decoy?
Somebody pull his cord. He ain't talking.
Yeah, his duck's flipping me off. That's about it.
Good God, I hate fucking Discord. It keeps changing my damn microphone on me.
You need to fucking quit swearing on this goddamn show. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
we don't fucking swear on this fucking show, bro.
Lou, hey, just keep smiling at that duck, okay? That's all I can say.
Cosmetech says, "What a great streak." Oh, never mind. Hamy's here. Had to run it.
Do you want to test this little theory? BB, why don't you send me the friends invite and I'll see how fast I get my ass kicked out.
So it doesn't work. I have to put in a ticket and then I will get sent a link then.
Yeah, the link that I got is now expired.
Oh, so Hammy really screwed it up.
So well, no, that's how they were doing it. You had to put in a ticket.
Oh, okay. Well, wait.
Cosmetech, can't we just be friends?
Let's back up. So they sent him the link after they verified that he was already denied.
No. Look, this is how it happened. I was sitting on my computer, and I get a message. I open it up, and it's Matt saying, "Hey, you want in?" And I said, "What the hell you mean?" And he posted the announcement that they made saying, this is the start of the Refer a Friend program. And I said, if it's real, yeah, then whatever, I will. So he sent me that link, and I joined the invite link, did the whole bullshit up top so I could get the member role, so I could see the channels I needed to see to continue with what the process was, which was read the information and post yes in this area to get a unit number, or whatever they call it, whatever number it is. And I did all that, and I had Discord on my one monitor and the documents on my other, reading them. And then the OCRP Discord just disappeared. And I messaged Matt back and said, "Hey, did I get kicked out, or was it a mistake? Did something happen? Like, I know I didn't leave because I wasn't clicking on nothing." And we've already gone through this argument with other people on, leaving a Discord is a multi-click process.
Right.
So he said, "Let me look into it." And that's when I got the message from him, which was the screenshot of his conversation with Jeff, saying that the reason that I got kicked out is because I got denied on an application prior. Now, did everybody else that get denied that joined, did they get kicked out again? Or did I just so happen to be Jeff seen my name and said, no. He knows too much about me. He's going to talk shit. I wouldn't have said a damn word about him.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, you want to keep your enemies, you want to keep your friends close, but you want to keep your enemies closer. So to me,
Yeah,
I mean, keep you in there. I mean, that's what I would have done. I mean, I wouldn't want, you to be out here on the free world, and, beat bashing the fuck out of him and his fucking Thrustmaster, sponsorships and stupid shit like that, would you?
Well, and the damnedest thing, Decoy, is right. Me and him both followed basically the same career path when it comes to role play. We both were in DOJ. I got kicked out of DOJ because I spoke my mind and they didn't like that. But he started OCRP. I started SAFR. It basically was a parallel. The only difference was in DOJ, you had to suck somebody's dick in order to be allowed to stream or record. So he already had an established role play channel. Like, he already had his audience. So when he started OCRP, he was just able to be like, "Hey guys, started my own shit. Come on over." And the initial application process filled up their server quick. And obviously SAFR didn't have that opportunity. And then they got to now where they're basically screwing themselves publicly because I haven't looked to see if there's like videos about this whole bullshit happening, or if there's posts on like Reddits or whatever. I haven't really dug into it because I haven't cared too much to do it. It's just the principle behind it of like why this happened, but more importantly, how this happened that allowed this to happen. Like the 4 people that are in charge, it's that Jeff, Bugs, Ryan, that Kimberly, and there might be a 5th, but I'm pretty sure there's 4. There's 4 for sure.
You still got
You're
Dave
telling
I
me
think
that
Bradley.
and Bradley.
And
none of
Bradley's,
them
Yeah,
are
Bradley.
they admins?
Yes,
Like
they all hold the
Yeah.
same title. Jeff, Bugs,
Right,
Ryan,
okay.
Jeff, Bugs, Ryan, Dave, Kimberly, and Bradley. They're all admins.
and nobody decided prior to that message coming out that here's this one and only stipulation that disqualifies somebody from this process. None of them thought to have her add that. That conversation never took place over. I'm sure that wasn't like she woke up that morning and go, you know what? I'm just going to do this. There was a conversation. There was a talk that this should happen. Nobody thought that that was something that they should bring up. Once they realized they fucked up, now they have to kick people out without giving. I didn't get an explanation from them. I wouldn't have known if I didn't dig into it. If I didn't have somebody else ask for me, I'd have just been like, well, I don't know why.
You know, instead of kicking them out, like if you had reservations about those people, like you for example, if they had reservations about you, instead of just kicking you, say, okay, well, hey, okay, yeah, Matt, you referred this guy. He's applied before. We're going to put him through another interview process. We're gonna vet him. But instead, you just get kicked.
BB, the funny part about this is once I got like, so when I first joined there, I couldn't see nothing but whatever the top channel was, and you have to do the reaction to like understanding the rules. And then it was a short period of time later, I got the members rule. Once I got the members rule, Jeff and like 2 other people were in a voice chat. I could have just joined that motherfucker if I wanted to, but I didn't. I was the good boy. I sat back and I didn't go and poke the bear. I didn't come in there like, you know, because I would have went in there talking to Jeff like I know Jeff from 2018, 2017. But I didn't do that. I was not gonna, because people would have then asked, well, how the hell do you know him? And I kind of wish now that I did, because then kicking me out would have looked even worse for him. Because now, well, why'd this guy was talking to you like he's known you for a while and you kick him out? What happened there? Well, because I was there when Jeff was being a little fucking spoiled. And this is before he had 1 million subscribers, before he was rich. But he thought then that he was something big.
Yeah, that's an ego problem.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck him and OCRP.
His ego's about as big as his last name.
So what's your opinion, Decoy?
Well, other than the one we don't mention, we already know another one that they took in that, as we all 3 of us will agree, is not even OCRP quality, and he got in on the first run. And it's like, how the hell did that happen?
He's still He's still over there too. He's made it longer than I thought he would.
Yeah, especially after he poked the bear with Bugs and Ryan in that one video that Bugs kicked out. I'm surprised he's still in.
Cosmetech, drama. There's always some drama. Drama is content, man. We're the best at covering drama.
I wouldn't call this is more of like pointing out the facts. And it just so happens, like if there's ever a day that I wake up and get excited and say, you know what, I'm going to tell the whole history of Jeff the Jeff that I know. That's kind of, that might get me in trouble. That might get that video flagged because I'm sure he don't want that out there.
Doesn't matter.
Matter of fact,
if it's true, you can use fair use all day long. You can even post
well,
videos of him doing stuff.
there's some stuff that he was talking to people, and he was friends with one that got accused of doing some pretty dirty stuff with little boys. And he was in them conversations. I can't say what he said or didn't say because I wasn't in the conversation, but I seen them talks happening. I seen people in TeamSpeak rooms. I'll just let that at that. And the rumors that came from that are him and somebody else might have been doing a little bit of the old grooming.
Yeah, that's
Is that why he keeps moving from like St. Louis to Orlando to Tampa to St. Louis?
that would be at that point it's just allegations.
Right. I can't prove what, like, obviously back then I didn't think, hey, you know what, Hammy, let's just start snapping screenshots of all these people because, in 4 years, there's going to be all this shit come out about these people. Right. Like I didn't think of, I just thought those, how buddies talk to each other. Right. I just thought that's what it was. But I'll tell you what, now that the truth came out 2 years ago, and all the screenshots and shit got posted, it is very, very ironic, I'll say that when that stuff started coming out shortly after is when OCRP opened her applications. I applied, got denied, and then still, what are the odds that there's somebody else using my same name with my logo? I mean, this is a new logo, but my logo has always been the same. Like, it's always been the skull with the headphones. Always.
Let's see what Nick was wanting. What's up, Nick?
Hey, what's up?
What you got going on, man?
Not much. Figured I'd drop in, say hi, how you guys are doing.
Didn't know if you had an opinion on the OCRP thing.
I don't have any really opinion, but I mean, I don't have anything against Jeff Bugs Orion.
Well, did you apply to OCRP?
Never applied for it, nothing.
No one's done the refer a friend for you?
Not yet.
Or,
no.
or you're not doing you don't even do 5M anymore?
I installed it again, but I haven't really done anything with it. But
that's good. I'm glad you did. I heard rumblings in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, that's the conversation for after Unfiltered.
Yeah.
Most of the team is already. Jess knows about it and Hunter knows about it. We just got to bring Decoy into loop and talk to the rest of the squad.
Oh, is it that bad?
I wouldn't say it's bad.
No.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of things in the woodworks that are just ideas. They're just ideas.
Time to get the raid out.
So, anyways, continue, Nick. You were saying, you didn't really have an opinion.
Not really. I want to be an OCRP for the just to have somewhere to RP in that's decent. Not really because Jeff, Bugs, and Ryan are there. I could care less who ran it. But all the RP I've seen over there has been decent.
Unless you're watching a Jeff, Bugs, or Ryan video.
Which I don't really do.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, those are fake videos. You can't really go by that.
I mean, so one of the main reasons why I wanted to join OCRP is not even a valid reason anymore, because he is no longer even a member of OCRP and he is no longer creating videos.
Old man beard
and
face.
That was exactly, because he could actually roleplay and he could do multiple characters.
From what I've gathered from people, from what I gathered, people that I know that are over there and people that are not really. I mean, one of them that's kind of up there on the gets to know stuff before other people is that there's really not the quality of RP because they can't get people to show up. I guess that's why they did this refer a friend thing, so that way maybe they could,
I mean, they've got 1,000 members, over 1,000 members, and their new life server has 55 people inside of it, and the main server has 27 people sitting inside of it. So I mean, you got over 1,000 people, and you're still not even breaking 100 people in each server. And
Well,
it's
because
it's a Friday night.
Because the main three are hiding in their recording server, and if you don't play by their rules, you get kicked out of OCRP. And all those other 1,000 people wanted to be in there to play with Jeff, Ryan, and Bugs.
well, yeah, I'll bet you a good half of those people that are in OCRP are cheerleaders, right? They're fanboys. They're there because they seen a YouTube video. I mean, I'm guilty too, right? Because like I joined DOJ back in the day when the videos were, I didn't know they were fake then, and I didn't really even expect to get let in. But if you watch those videos from 2018-ish, it's always the same people. And that's because like they would just do 2 days of just let's just bust out videos and record for 8 hours a day. And then they would schedule them on YouTube to come out so it looked like they were busier, but it's always the same group of people. You had the script before you started, right? Like, hey, I you know, and I've said this before, hey, we're going to be over here in this area driving like assholes. No cops come over there. When we want you guys to come get us, we'll fly past you. Or we'll shoot a gun so you can hear it. Right? Like that's how they script that's how their role play is. That's acting. That's not role play, it's acting. And from the people that I know that are over there, they say the same thing. You could be in one of their servers, and if Bugs, Jeff, and Ryan, and you know the bigwigs aren't in that server just playing, the server, the RP sucks. And the only reason that the RP is good when they're in is because they let people do stuff that's unrealistic, a part of a role play server where you're supposed to be as real as possible. You're supposed to be that character. That digital video game character, that's supposed to be you in real life, like you're playing that person. But they bend the rules to let people do stuff. How many times in SAFR did anybody in a high position do something? I seen that look. I know what you're about to say. But how many times did somebody do something that was unrealistic to what could really happen in real life?
I think once, and that was in Halloween, during one of the Halloween ones that we did, and it was Matt in that stupid freaking UFO car.
All right, but I think wasn't there might have been an announcement of something that, you know, we're gonna bring out Halloween stuff. We're gonna make it like a spooky, creepy. I can't. I'd have to go back and look. But I mean, on like a normal non-holiday deal, right? Like it was always, obviously when we did shit like Survive the Hunt and all them, that's absolutely, we broke every freaking rule in the book just to have fun. But during a normal patrol, when we were trying to carry storylines over from one day to another, I always thought it was important to be as real as possible while you're doing it.
There's only a couple of times. It wasn't very many. I won't call him out, but his RP was shit a couple of times. And that's probably why I died a few times, because he knew how I felt.
Now, one of those times I can say was a complete one-off, couldn't be replicated ever again.
Mofo be
There's a short about it.
Mofo be doming me.
Yeah.
And then there's that
I think
other.
I've got-
Then there's that. Remember, he went full blown retard. Remember that guy that joined. He did pretty good, and then he went to like drive on the wrong side of the road, like to pursue. And afterwards, we're like, "Hey man, you can't do that." And then he just went full blown fucking retard. Started sending me all those nasty pictures and shit.
Yeah, the guy that
Is that
thought it was
Wild
okay
Sergeant?
to go opposite lanes.
Is that who it was? Wild Sergeant?
I
The
believe.
one
I
that-
forget.
Yeah, because
His name started with a T.
Yeah, it started with a T. It was like Tyrell or something like that.
That might have been it right there. Tyrone.
Yeah, Tyrone was his name, but he went by Wild Sergeant as his gamer tag in the Discord.
Because remember, he had the like certified pitmaster or something like that as his Discord tag.
Well, where he screwed the pooch, like, he tried to say that in real life cops go opposite lanes. Yes, for maybe a couple of seconds if they have to, but going opposite lanes puts everybody at risk, not just the person running away, but the cars now coming at you and you going at them. All kinds of shit could go wrong. But that could have been overlooked if it wasn't for the fact that we were on motorcycles and he thought that you could just go slam a car into a motorcycle and call it a pit. That's not a pit. That's attempted murder. Like, what the fuck? You can't just slam a car into a motorcycle doing 80 miles an hour and say, pit successful.
Was that the same night that Nick put on body armor? And we were over there at the refinery, and we're like, why is this motherfucker not dying? Like, I'm like, you're watching me you're watching me shoot him. And then I'm like, me and you were both like, what's going on here? And I was like, I'm fixing to break RP. And you're like, do it. And I just fucking walk up to Nick, like, come up from the dead and fucking go up to Nick and fucking blow his fucking brains out. It was like,
Yeah, that was an accident.
okay, maybe he doesn't have. We thought he had God mode on.
No, I was wearing body armor, but at the time I didn't realize I had it on. So that was definitely my fault.
That dude gave me such a fucking aneurysm after that patrol because I didn't know what to make of it. I really didn't. I was like, oh God. And BB, you're like, I got this. And you messaged him and said, hey, we can't do that. And then he started messaging me, and then he started messaging you. And then he made a post like, this is why we're blacklisted from DOJ. Why? Because we tell people they can't slam into fucking motorcycles with a car at 80 miles an hour.
Guy from Wild Sergeant. That's a different guy
And
from Wild Sergeant.
No, this is
that
same guy.
Yeah, and then he started sending like very, very inappropriate. And mind you, he was still in the Discord yet. It was a coaching. That's all it was BB trying to tell him like this is how, you might have been in another server that let you do this, but this is how we do it. And he went fucking ballistic. He started sending pictures of people fucking fat girls' belly buttons and like he was
Dude,
having a
bad.
fit.
That was bad.
And then I said, kick him. He's got to go. There's no coming back from the shit that he was put. Like, you could have said all that you said and then went, I was pissed. I'm sorry. And I'd have been like, all right, cool. Don't let it happen again. You can't send me a picture of like.
It was so bad.
Yeah, you can't send me that and then apologize for it.
It was so bad.
Yeah, they were pretty gross. But
I can't remember. Did we upload those to the website with evidence, or did they go into the Google Drive?
Yeah, they're on the evidence file.
So we didn't want to put them in the fucking Google Drive. That's how bad they were.
Yeah, that guy went. What's fucked up, right? If you think about it, is when he applied and we talked to him, he was about as chill as possible. And then he just showed up for a patrol, and we're like, great. And this was like, we had a decent patrol going. And oh boy, it didn't take long. Like the first couple scenes, the feeler scenes where you just do a couple of small little things to get the cops waiting for something to happen. He was decent. He was understanding on scenes. He was talking respectfully. And then we went into a motorcycle chase, and he
Because me and you
just
were like,
lost
"Oh,
his shit.
this dude's gonna be pretty cool." And it was bad. It was so bad. Polly says he misses the boogie scenes.
Yeah, cuz I miss him too. It's been a minute.
Yeah, especially when they pop, BB from half the highway across as they're driving away.
Look, that was the one I was saying about. That was I know for a fact was 100% an oddity because I seen the footage and made a short of it. There was no way that he did that intentionally. Like he was first person shooting out of a car. You don't have a reticle. We didn't have the dot thing that you could. The chances, first off, the chances that he even killed a cop is like 1 in 1,000. The chances that it was BB again is like 1 in a million. Like
Bro,
that's not possible.
It happened to me like 3 or 4 times, and that last time it happened, Matt was like, "No, you do not need to lead a police chase. You need to be at the back of the line."
Yeah, be the one that comes and cleans up the bodies, not the one that gets to be a body. Oh, I agree, Paulie. It's I haven't been on 5M in, well, next month will be a year since I've been in 5M. BB can't say the same. He was in less than 24 hours ago. But
Decoy doesn't even know
all
about
I'm saying, maybe stay tuned. You know what I'm saying, cuh? You might get a little boogie in your nose, homie.
Oh, God.
Just wait, Decoy.
Gotta get my fucking computer back first.
Just wait, Decoy. Wait until our conversation after this.
Okay.
I've
Now,
already
and
laid it
speaking
out
of-
in my brain.
And wait, speaking of your PC, Hammy, take it from a guy who used to work for 3 of the top tier computer manufacturers. Go get your damn PC back. That guy don't know shit.
Yes, Cosmotech, I did say cuh. What up, cuh?
well,
'Cause-
ninja.
Hey, I'm a ginger. You know, and in 2025, gingers are the new black people. So I can do whatever I want.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's great.
And yes, he is a black character too, so you could definitely say cuh. But you can't put the Z on the end of it because then it's a gang related thing in real life.
So, what do you guys think about that plane crash in India to where one guy survived?
Who's echoing?
Nick.
Nick.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, this is why we can't have nice
What
things.
do I think?
Oh, he said he'll be back.
See you, bye. I don't really understand it. Like, it doesn't. I don't get it. I don't understand what happened there because, like, okay, I know it happened, but I really haven't seen much news about it. Probably because it has a lot to do with the fact that California turned into Afghanistan, and now Israel's fucking pushing their buttons with everybody else. So,
But
I'm just
one
gonna throw
guy,
this out there.
one
What
guy.
plane crash?
It happened in India. Like it was
how many people were on board?
200 and something odd people, and one guy survived.
What was his
So was the
trick?
plane taking off?
Nobody
for
else
land?
did.
No fucking
Was it
clue.
taking off for landing or
It was leaving, and shortly after departing, it crashed in a fairly populated area in India. Buildings were destroyed and such from the crash, but all but one person.
India is the most populous country in the world now.
All but one person died.
Well, okay, if that guy don't go to church on Sunday, he better start. And he needs to give out his secret. What did he do? Did he like how did it happen? That's there's so many things that would have to I would have to know how the plane wrecked. Did it wreck on its side, its nose? Where was he at in the plane? Was he in the back of the plane? It landed on his nose where everybody up front was just a cushion for him? Like how did it happen that did he walk away or is he in a hospital? Is he almost dead?
No, so
He's
the
in
sole
the hospital.
the sole survivor of the Air India crash that killed over 240 people also doesn't know how he made it out alive. But lying in a hospital bed on Friday morning, he did his best to explain, "I can't believe myself how I came out of it alive because for a while I thought I was going to die. But when I opened my eyes, I saw that I was alive, so I tried to open my seatbelt and I was able to get out." He was one of the 242 people on board the London-bound Boeing 787 Dreamliner, which crashed in the northwestern Indian city of Ahmedabad.
Yeah, don't try to pronounce it. Just
Shortly
call it
after
Yo-Yo Town.
shortly after takeoff Thursday. Everyone else on board died, and authorities say casualties will likely also include people who were inside a medical college hostel that the plane struck.
So a bunch of people died on the ground too. So out of the 200 and some in the plane, there was also
There were casualties
casualties on the ground.
because it hit a building. Yep.
God damn, man.
Yeah.
Look, I ain't getting on no
should...
fucking planes. So all these people that get on planes and y'all, that's nuts. I wasn't born with wings. I wasn't supposed to fly, so I ain't doing it. It don't make no sense. If there's some place I need to be and it requires me to get on a plane to go, then I don't need to be there.
So
yeah,
there's a video, but it's not of it crashing, but it shows that the aircraft was seen slowly sinking behind residential buildings before a huge blast upward.
I just posted a picture from the AP News and the Unfiltered chat of the wreckage scene.
So it says
Cosmotech says total engine failure.
A flight tracking site said the plane used the full length of the runway before its takeoff. The flight took off at 4:09 a.m. Eastern. It was due to land around 9 hours later. Seconds later, there was a mayday from the plane. The aircraft had reached an altitude of 625 feet when its signal was lost, the tracker said. Flight Tracker 24 data says it began to plunge down to Earth at a speed of about 475 feet per minute.
So now my question is, who investigates that? Because here in the United States, the NTSB would do it. Who does it because it's in India? Like, will we ever know the cause?
Probably not.
The Cosmotech said it was a total engine failure, but is there going to be a full, like, hey, this is really what happened? Just because, first off, planes don't just fall out of the sky for no reason. My guess is, something went wrong with the engines because that's the one thing that keeps them some bitches going. The wings keep them from flipping over, but the engines make them go. So I'm assuming something engine happened or a mechanical issue with the controls and the pilots just lost control. But that's crazy.
The guy that lived was assigned to seat 11A. So if you ever fly, you want to be in seat 11A. Because you have a good probability of living. Because this guy did.
Well, you have a 1 in 200 and something chance anyway. Especially if the fucking Air India. I ain't getting on. Okay, like I said, I'm not getting on a plane, period. But if I have to get on a plane, it's not going to be a third world country plane. Ain't gonna do it. Nope, I will walk.
Well, it was a third world country plane. That's the deal. It was a Boeing plane, which was made in Everett, Washington.
Yeah, but maintained by the Indian government.
Yeah, but okay, but if you go back and read, these Dreamliners have had issues, well documented, even from our federal government, for the last 10 years. I mean, we've had
See, I
tails
don't.
of them fall off over New York City.
Again, that's why I don't get on a plane.
See, and now
Motherfucker.
they're trying to point blame to it was Boeing's fault, that they were taking shortcuts during
Well,
manufacturing of the 787 Dreamliner.
you know what? That could be believable if the maintenance team that's supposed to look over it would have seen there's an issue. They can ground the plane. You can't just be like, hey, I've had these shoes for 3 years and the sole ripped. It's fucking Nike's fault. No, that's not what happened. It's your fault because you wore them for 3 years and tore the sole off them and now getting another pair. If you buy a plane, if you buy a car from Chevrolet and you drive it for 10 years and then the engine goes bad for some reason, you can't say Chevy put a bad engine in it. You didn't maintain the engine. That's probably what the fuck happened. The Indian government said, okay, well, you know what? Welcome to my plane. And they fucking just shot the bitch off in the air and it went about 600 feet and then came falling back down.
So here's a video of it, apparently.
Of the wreck?
I'm not sure. I haven't watched the video.
Hold on here. Pulling it up. Okay.
So there's the plane leaving.
Okay, well, 600 feet ain't very far in the air.
And they were talking about the tail end of it was sagging real low.
Did they overweight it? Did they put too much weight on it?
There it goes. Because they were only in the air for about 30 seconds.
Did he pitch up too high? Like, without seeing the telemetry, how do you know? And it didn't, like, slam into the ground either. It kind of just glided down, it looked like. What happened? Oh, okay, well, that's...
It hit a building.
You got to remember, he was loaded for bear going to England. So he had a...
Well, then my guess is... My guess is then when they loaded the plane, do you ever see that plane? Look up the video, Afghanistan cargo plane crash. It's like this plane literally takes off and just goes up in the air and does like a wiggity wave looking thing and then just slams into the ground because
CCTV footage that shows.
This one actually has.
Looks like the same goddamn video.
Too.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to believe that either A, the weight was not distributed correctly and it was more to the tail end of it, and when he pitched up on rotate, when they V1 and they went up, everything shifted in the back and the butthole got heavy. Like, you can look it up yourself, BB. There's the video. I could probably look it up and send it to you. The video of the plane in Afghanistan that crashed. Let me see if I can find it.
Play it one more time since I forgot to play it for the stream. So yeah, you can see the tail end. It was sagging bad.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like it's also raining too. So, I mean, that could play a factor in it. Because, humidity and everything else with weights and, the fuel could have been actually 20 to 40 pounds heavier than what they thought per liter. And, there's a lot of different things that can actually be contributing to that.
They didn't make it very far, Polly. They were only in the air. They were in the air for less than 30 seconds.
Yep.
There's that video. I timestamped it to a spot where if you're going to stream it, it'll show it, and it basically looks almost like that, except for this is a big, huge cargo plane. And it does the same, like the ass end gets heavy. And I feel like that's probably something similar to what happened. Like the ass end of it. See how the ass end's like it's drooping? Plane's trying, it's going, but it ain't going. And then it said, nope.
Hmm.
And then it just come on down. That's a big military cargo plane. So that they said in there that the weight when they took off, the weight shifted to the back because it wasn't secured correctly. And it made the back end of the plane so heavy that the thrust of the plane couldn't push it to get it up. Like high, yeah, right here. Showing the now why I can remember this is I think the video was 12 years ago, but I remember it like it was yesterday. Right there, they're saying how it shifted. And what could that have happened in that plane? Did when they loaded it up, did they not put the weight like distributed, or was it not secured down? And as soon as they rotated, it all slid to the back and made the plane heavy and caused it to stall out, because pilots when they take off at the same speeds every time.
I guess they don't show this plane
Or
actually.
they at least try to mimic the same thing.
I guess they don't actually show this plane crashing. They just show it.
No,
before
but
crash.
you could.
It's like,
No,
oh,
but
Yeah.
you can tell that it had nowhere to go but one lane that was down.
No, but it's that. I mean, that's what happens. Like that is. Could that have happened in that plane? Maybe. I don't know how you know. Like I don't know how you'd be able to tell, but
yeah, that's ridiculous. Tater says that that was what we call a hard stall to do due to shifting cargo. They fucked something up. Imagine being in those cars on the road. Yeah, that would have. This is ABC News, not World Star. No explosions. That looks like all the cargo slid due to the cargo not being secured properly. Yeah, the one that we just watched, they said that was absolutely what happened.
now, like I said though, is it possible that in that plane that's what happened? They loaded the weight fucked up, and when it took off, it shifted, and the pilots couldn't recover before it stalled out and fell.
Man, I'm with you, Hammy.
First off, the plane.
This is becoming way too much of a normalcy. Like, fuck off. If I can't drive there, I ain't going.
I don't see why I need to be there. If I can't drive there, I ain't going. I don't need to be there that bad. And if you need me there in a week, you'll let me know in ahead of time so I can get there.
So
hey, we need you to
Hawaii's
come out here
obviously good for you.
tomorrow. Oh yeah, I ain't going to what the fuck's in Hawaii for me? What's there that I want? Volcano? No, I'm good. No, I don't need one of them.
I mean, they got one of them erupting right now in Hawaii.
I could stay here.
Volcano erupting in Hawaii since '89.
I could go an hour and a half down the road and I can have authentic Samoan food. Why do I got to go to Hawaii? What the fuck do I need to go to Hawaii for? Why am I going to Alaska? To freeze my ass off? Ain't nothing up there for me.
You can drive to Alaska.
Only in the wintertime when you can get across that little strip of land. But I ain't an ice road trucker, so I'm staying my ass on solid ground.
Your van doesn't weigh that much. You're good.
I don't give a shit. That motherfucker breaks. There ain't nothing but the bottom of the ocean.
It's all right. Wait, gingers don't know how to swim.
Another hair my turn.
I don't know how to fly either. That's why I ain't getting on no goddamn cruise ship.
Oh,
you don't get my ass on an airplane or a cruise ship. I'm on a boat. I'll get on a boat, but I'm the I'm the captain of my boat, and I get on my boat. I'll get on a kayak by myself because if something goes wrong, it's my fault. I'm not getting on a plane that I don't know if that motherfucker just had a bad day and said, you know what, I'm done living, and I'm taking everybody else with me. Nope. Ain't doing it.
But that could happen to you in a car too.
Let's see if I can.
It could, but
driving
I'm behind the wheel.
Let's say this on a high note.
I don't go someplace. I don't go no place, Decoy, unless I'm driving, unless it's like right down the road. So if something happens, I'm a seasoned vet when it comes to controlling a car. I've lost control of cars already and kept them on the road. I don't trust other people, so if somebody's wrecking, could be able to, do something to get myself out of it. Well, I'm in control of my own fate. That's why I don't fly or get on cruise ships. One, if you're out in the middle of the Atlantic or Pacific Ocean and you hear this from your captain, everybody to lifeboats, I'll be like, oh, this is bullshit. I didn't buy a ticket to a lifeboat. I bought a ticket to a cruise ship. I ain't trying to get on a lifeboat. I don't see why I should have to. I'm not getting on a plane because I don't want to hear, this is your captain speaking. We're going to try to make it back to the nearest airport. Seems like we've lost engine. We're just going to see what happens here. Grab your breathing masks and buckle your seatbelts. And if you can reach around, go ahead and kiss your ass because it might be the last time you get to do that. No, I'm not falling 35,000 feet to my death. That don't make sense.
All right, I got a famous. I got not a famous. I got a final little question to end the podcast. So let's say you wake up and you're suddenly in the middle of a cooking competition, but it's to the death. What's your winning dish?
Oh, chili.
Damn, you think that you think you're gonna win a competition with your chili?
Oh yeah. Yep. I know I will. Guarantee it.
What about you, Decoy?
I got to think on this one for a minute.
Mine would have.
Motherfucker's gonna say Burger King.
Man, mine would have to be a steak. I can cook some motherfucking steak.
Okay, I'm gonna have to disagree there because only you can cook your steak. I can't cook your steak. Bill can't cook your steak. Only you can cook your steak the way you like your steak.
This is the middle of a cooking competition. It's my dish. I'm cooking a fucking steak. It's gonna be a fucking ribeye steak.
Mine would have
Talking
to be
about
my
cooking.
homemade. Mine would have to be my homemade pizza with everything made from scratch, including the dough.
Tomorrow I'm smoking a 14-pound brisket. It's already trimmed. It was like almost 17 pounds until I trimmed off.
Bro, it's just you and Brandy.
All the
Y'all are gonna
fat.
eat that shit for a month.
Well, no, or Father's Day Sunday.
It's still just you and Brandy.
Yeah, but we're having a big cookout at the marina and going fishing and doing all kinds of stuff, and some other people are going to be there.
You don't
But
even
I'm
like
not taking
people.
the whole brisket. I don't. That's why I'm going fishing.
He's gonna eat fish.
That's
I'll
why
be down the river. They could be up there playing fucking games.
That's why they picked the marina. Get fucking Wild Bill out my fucking hair.
Yep, that's the plan. Get me to fuck away. And Brandy said to me, we bought the brisket yesterday. She's like, do you think you could have this ready for Sunday? And I'm like, well, yeah, that's a couple days away. Of course I can have a brisket done. It takes fucking 8 hours, 12 hours to make a brisket.
Does she know she sounds like that?
Of course I can. Well, she sounds like a fucking 12-year-old, even though she's almost 40. But so tomorrow I'm gonna put it in the smoker and I'll make brisket, and then what I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna cut the flat off of it and put the flat, or keep the flat and put the cap. I'll put the cap in the freezer. I know you're not supposed to just shut up on that. I know you don't freeze brisket, but I can, because I can put it in the smoker and wrap it in butcher paper and bring it back to temperature at 175 degrees to not lose moisture. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm a chef, boy, God.
So, Tallest Leprechaun says he thinks that it would have to be something that requires multiple ingredients to be added that wouldn't take away from the main dish, so it gives you the opportunity to add mixes and seasoning to stand out. And then Tater said
No, see, I was
a brisket that size, if you cook it low and slow, will take a long time. I mean,
no, I'm cooking it. I'm putting it in at 225 for the first 2 to 3 hours with smoke, and then I'm taking it to 250 for like the next 6 hours, 7 hours. But once it gets to the thermal stall, in case anybody that don't know how to cook, there's a thing called a thermal stall in cooking when meat reaches a temperature of like 165 to 168, it'll hit a thermal stall. And at that point, I'm gonna take it out, wrap it in the butcher paper, and put it back in to help retain the heat, so I can get it to the 205 mark. But I've already have it mapped out. I've done a brisket before years ago, but never. I did it on a pellet smoker, which is really really fucking hard to maintain any kind of temperature on. So we shall see. We shall see.
I'm
Only
charcoal.
bad things can
when
happen tomorrow.
when I'm smoking, it's charcoal and wood chips.
I was just gonna say propane.
Fuck no.
I bet you gonna go, hey, kid.
Hell to the no.
Propane, and if you cook on a propane grill, you are the devil. You have officially.
I don't know. Go cook inside with your bitch ass if you're cooking on a propane grill.
At that point, yeah, go cook it on the stove because that's what you're doing.
Like you're not getting any. You're not getting any flavor, like from the grill itself. No.
So to go back real quick here on Hunter's comment about the multiple ingredients. See, I took the cooking thing to the death as like a legitimate, my goal would be I'm gonna put the spiciest fucking peppers in this son of a bitch that I can, so that when people bite it and eat it, they start getting in all kinds of pain, and I'll get the leg up in case I have to fight for the death. I didn't know that it was like I didn't know you meant the loser dies, right? Like everybody but the winner lives. But I plan on, if that's the case, then still, I'll just fucking get everybody in so much pain, kill them all, and I'll be the only one left. Give me the crown. GeoGuessr, what?
Polly, I use a pellet smoker, but haven't gotten to do a brisket. But my ribs are pretty good. That's what I would go with.
What do you have, like a Traeger? Traeger's, that's probably like the most popular pellet smoker. I don't like pellets now.
No, he's got
like I use lump.
He's got great value, bro. That dude can't afford Traeger.
Yeah, well,
It's a Walmart.
So when I first started smoking food, I did like the.
Why are they joining and then going down to the waiting room?
Because you told them not to just join. You told them to go to the waiting room. But Decoy was the only one like.
Okay, he didn't.
They're listening to you.
Yeah, but they're joining and then going to the waiting room.
When I first started smoking food, I did it on a lava rock grill. I don't know if anybody else remembers them.
Oh yeah.
They were the worst fucking. You couldn't move them lava rocks around unless you had armored gloves on.
Yep.
But so I would take the lava rocks and put them on one side, and just do indirect, where like the meat was on the side without the lava rocks, and the cooking would happen. And I had a tube that my mom bought me for Christmas. Imagine that. I was bought something food related. I've been cooking my whole life. And I didn't know what you were supposed to do. Like, I knew what you're supposed to do with the tube, but I didn't know how to do what I was doing. So I put these fucking pellets in there. I jammed them in like like I was trying to smuggle somebody across the border. Just as many people as possible in the boat. Get in, get in, get in. And then I just laid it in there. And when I went to eat the food, I'm like, I don't taste no smoke at all. And I looked at the tube and barely any of the pellets were burning or even colored. I said, what the fuck did I do wrong? There was no YouTube back then, people. This was not a thing that you could just go, hey, let me just YouTube it or Google it. We didn't have none of that then. And my brother, who is probably one of the stupidest people that I have ever known in my fucking life, and it's a blessing that he is dead. I had to actually go to the hospital to make sure that it was him laying in the bed dying before I would believe it, because this guy was the luckiest fucking person I've ever met in my life. Anything that could possibly go wrong to him didn't. He ended up on the good side of everything. But he's like, he used to always call me meathead. He's like, well, you got to catch it on fire first, meathead. And I'm like, all right, douchebag. You don't really got to, like, you're older than me. You probably know this before I did. So, but now I have a whole smoker set up with a cold smoker and the whole shabinga bang, and I do this.
I actually got the Pit Boss from Walmart, but it does really well. Told you, it's fucking great value. I knew it.
Oh, and he got it on sale. Yeah, no, great
I
value is the
knew-
Walmart brand.
I knew it. It's not even a Pit Boss. He hasn't figured out. He doesn't know actually how to spell Pit Boss, but it's spelled wrong.
That motherfucker probably says pit hog on it or something like.
Pit
Family
pig.
special.
Pit pig. All right,
Look,
guys.
and
What you got here?
there is, well, I was just gonna say there is a, you can't just cook any food in anything. The cheap grills, the cheap smokers, they don't put out the same goody goods as the. I have almost an $800 smoker. On top of my cold smoker and the rest of the attachments, I'm over $1,000 in food. So my shit is gooder than good. It is goodest.
I stick with my char broiler with my side stack on it.
I mean,
But
my mom used to cook eggs
anyways, your mom.
No, go ahead.
No, why you gotta bring up your mom?
Wow. If I did, it would just be bones.
It's
Uh-huh.
it's not Mother's Day. It's Father's Day weekend. Fucking show your dad some appreciation.
He dead too.
Fucking
Matter of fact, his ashes are right over there on the counter.
Oh, it's okay. I don't know mine.
Well, when I die, I hope somebody makes fun of me too. Fuck it, I am. Just leave it up to Cosmotech. It should be easy.
Anyways, guys,
My Polish brother.
We forgot to play Dad Break. Damn.
That's all right.
It doesn't matter. It's not
outdated anyway.
It's outdated. Anyways, guys, make sure you check out Two Drunks in a Bottle tomorrow at 8 p.m.
have Max
Central
back on?
Standard Time. We are not having Max.
Hold on, did your
back
balls-
on.
Did your balls just drop? It
Did-
sounded like you went, hey. Somebody go back about 30 seconds and clip that.
We are having Lip back on. So check us
Don't
out
give me no
tomorrow. We'll be live again. We actually got a new upgrade to the podcast room. Till next time, guys, I'm the Delta BB.
I'm fucking hammy.
I'm the grumpy old boomer.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Now get the hell out.